phone, or you can watch us on Facebook Live. And there's a little traffic getting onto Facebook at this moment, so let me see when they let us in. And there you go. Hey, everybody, welcome in. My name's Jim Dietlow here in Hammond, Indiana, the Purdue Northwest Commercialization and Manufacturing Excellence Center. We like to interview interesting people, and there's a couple of them on the screen right there. Vince Mazza, Guard Street. How you been, Vinny?
I'm good. How you doing, Jimmy?
All right, man. We're still in he gets to call me Jimmy because I called him Vinny, and he hates that. So we're even. How's that sound? Vince, what's your job?
I run a company called Guard Street Cybersecurity, and our business is protecting your business. And we provide cybersecurity proactive services to prevent cyber attacks from impacting a business. And we also help them recover quickly should there ever be an attack.
Vince, I just had a guy on that wrote a book, Protecting Your Small Business in a Pandemic. And one of the things for a business was risk management. How does what you do veer into that, what you should be doing as a business?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll answer that question, but I do want to say Happy Cybersecurity Month. All of October is appreciation for risk management and protecting your business. So cybersecurity, to answer your question, is absolutely the epitome of risk management. If you're planning, the purpose of today's show is to focus on the legal industry and managing risk and planning so that your business, so that you can be protected proactively. The legal industry in particular has been hit last year and this year with the pandemic. It's been on fire. Home attorneys, the increase in attacks have been fivefold since March. But if a law firm follows really what I call the 4 Ps of cybersecurity, which are looking at your processes, your people, your partners, and protective tools, you'll get through it. You'll hopefully avoid being attacked and also recover more quickly. And so I brought Scott Brennan, who's the CEO of Lexicon, which provides a very secure platform for law firms. And he brings a great perspective. He's also, his company is a client of Guard Street, so I know that they appreciate cybersecurity. And what we'll talk about in the next few minutes from a risk management perspective can not only apply to law firms, but really anybody that owns a business or runs a business listening today.
Scott, good to see you again.
Yeah, you too, Jim. Thanks.
Let's go right at that risk management. You guys, well, tell people what Lexicon is and what you guys do.
Sure, yeah. So we are a business that is designed to help law firms minimize risk and make more money, right? And so we do that by providing a practice management software where they can track their hours, track their clients, track their matters. And then we provide all the services that a law firm might need, like call center support, quality audits, billing, collections, anything that distracts a lawyer from actually practicing law, we can take off their plate so that they can have a more successful practice.
Scott, a lot of attorneys are at home right now. My wife was working from home for a while. I had to set up this special room. There was no, but quite frankly, all I did is hooked her into Comcast, and then that was it. Didn't make any. I got a little firewall that I put up there. But a lot of people are online right now, yeah. And obviously Vince's product is, helping you guys. Number one thing you face if you're a law firm or even an individual right now and you're doing a lot of this stuff online that you used to do in person?
Yeah, so if you're not in a secure cloud-based environment, the single biggest risk that you've got is your email, right? Email is the least secure method for communicating imaginable in a professional environment. In a lot of firms, in the rush to try to continue working during the pandemic early on, just sent people home. And they were relying on email to send client documents back and forth, to work on sensitive client information. Depending on the type of law you practice, you probably have got social security number, mother's maiden name, kids' names, home address. Any question that you're asked to validate your identity, there's a good chance your attorney's got that information from you somewhere. And if you are practicing law on your hard drive or on a server in a closet in the office that nobody goes to anymore, and you're emailing back and forth with your colleagues, you have exposed yourself and your clients to a massive amount of risk. And it's not just small firms that did this. Vince is right, 500% increase in cyber attacks on law firms this year. But one of the largest firms in the country just a week and a half ago shut down for several days because somebody had gotten into their network and was trying to hold their files hostage.
Who would do this?
You know what? Let me answer that one, because it's interesting. You used to think that you know, the hacker is some guy in his parents' attic, you know, and going in at night or even during the day and attacking. Well, that guy is still there, but in terms of who's hacking, it's now turned into very organized networks, that criminal networks that are hacking into the law firms, and specifically not just domestically, but also internationally. There's a Russian hacker organization that is specifically targeting law firms called Oleras. Let me
spell
tell you,
that, will you?
Oleras.
Oleras. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and they've got law firms are just a gold mine for these hackers. If you look at the top performing cyber criminal makes about $2 million a year, north of it. The middle of the road cyber criminal makes about $900,000, and that entry level guy or gal makes about $40,000. So,
and that's because it's not their full-time job, right? Those people still go in and do a day job, and they just hack for fun in the evening.
Right. And the risk, you talk about risk management from a hacker perspective, you have a 5% chance of being caught. So the old adage, crime doesn't pay, does not apply in the world of cybersecurity, unfortunately.
Vince, give us that chronology. Somebody, let's use a 10 attorney, 12, I don't know what the ratio is normally, but they got 10 attorneys. They probably have 20 support staff. 30, is that about right? A third attorneys and 2/3 support staff, investigators, rest of it.
Paralegals.
So you got 30 people, law firm total. Give us a chronology of how they would get hacked, and what is a kind of a normal chronology?
Well, the most typical way to get hacked, as Scott mentioned, I always put a statistic to it because it stands, and stood for a few years. 95% of cyber attacks originate through email, and phishing email is the most common. So, you know, that's where an employee of the firm, partner of the firm, clicks on an attachment or clicks a link, and it drops malware into the network. Or it may be that the click through is a request for credentials. And once the credentials are released, let's say that it's to compromise an email account. Once they're in, the cyber attacker could impersonate, say, a partner of the firm, make wire requests, negotiate retainers with clients, and have money wired to an offshore account. That's a typical pattern, is through email. And the trend with email is that there's machine learning. So a hacker can be going back and forth with multiple employees or partners in the law firm, and it's almost impossible to detect that it's actually a hacker that you're speaking with via email.
We're talking to Vince Mazza, with CEO of Guard Street, and we're talking to Scott Brennan with Lexicon. All right, so let's talk specific law firms here. Scott, you guys provide the call center. You provide a lot of software. You kind of, you let a lawyer be a lawyer, and so they don't have to worry about any of this stuff. So what is it that Guard Street gives Lexicon?
So Guard Street is our protector, right? So we protect the law firm by providing a secured, salted, cloud-based environment for all of their documents. Anything they do that's client-facing should be done through the cloud. We take everything off of the local hard drive and the local server. Everything resides within Lexicon, which has got its own additional layer of security. Guard Street works with us and protects us, because just the way law firms get attacked, obviously practice management software providers are also attacked. We're not as high profile as a lot of the law firms are going to be, but we still have to make sure that our security is hardened and that nobody has a route into our network where they could then run amok among all of our law firm clients.
Vince, why such a concentration on lawyers and judges and the whole law world?
There's something called island hopping that cyber criminals take advantage of. So if you think about a law firm, it's got a whole bunch of clients. An attacker could go and attack each of those clients and sift through a lot of data until they find something valuable. But at a law firm, the most valuable information is stored at that law firm. Could be something about mergers and acquisitions, as Scott was mentioning, information on employees or partners of the firm, financial information. So with one attack, you get all this information from these other companies. So that's tremendously valuable. Additionally, law firms typically are soft targets. They're not as advanced in their cyber practices. And third, they've got the wherewithal to pay ransoms.
He is Vince Mazza, and he's with Guard Street. If you guys want to talk to him, do it quick. Do it now. Let's go to the phones. 219-845-1100. Hey, you're on with these two guys. Go ahead. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Pick up your phone.
This is Judge John Cedia calling, and first I want to thank you again, Judd, for your support of the event last Friday. It was tremendous, but that's not why I'm calling. About a year ago, Lake County courts were hacked, and our email was disabled, and of course they demanded ransom. Now, we have a data department we contract out with, and they're very sophisticated, and they went and they solved the problem without paying a dime and got out of the hack. The point I'm making is it is essential that law firms and professional firms at large are protected by this. These people, and we have very sophisticated protections. We have a very good data department, excellent data department, and yet they were able to get around our security. Thank God we were able to solve it. Didn't cost the county a dime. But without that, we would have been in real trouble.
Judge, how did it close the courts at all for any smaller period of time?
No, thank God it didn't. They weren't able to get into Odyssey, which is our case management system. They just disabled our email. And believe me, that caused a whole lot of consternation. But thank God they weren't able to get through to that. And the reason they weren't is because we do have this protection, and we do have a data department that does this. So, again, extremely important to have this stuff in place.
Judge, did that open the eyes of other judges and other court administrators? It seemed...
Oh, I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. And this is not uncommon, as I'm sure your guests can tell you. Municipalities have been hacked. Other court systems have been attacked. Ransom has been paid all over the country. And, and these people weren't prepared. Thank God we were on it. Our data people were on it, and we were able to handle it, and it didn't cost us any money.
Judge, thanks so much. We're going to analyze that situation. And once again, thanks for bringing us to be a part of that. I was just blown away at the history you brought last week.
Oh, well, it was my pleasure, and thank you for giving us the attention.
All right, there it is. Hey, let's take that right now. Scott Brennan is with Lexicon. He provides the backbone for law firms. We've been talking about law firms. You're talking right there, Scott, about an entire county's court system with courts at Gary, Hammond, Crown Point, some of the city courts, that kind of stuff. What is that? What kind of dangers is presented there?
It's the exact same problem that you've got with law firms. I would say, in general, the courts aren't going to store as much sensitive data electronically in a way that the hackers can get to as a law firm would. But they do still have PDFs of documents that will have sensitive information. I do think the judge is right that generally when you look at a municipal system, you're more likely to see a ransomware attack or a deliberate disruption of service attack where they just shut your entire network down. When you're talking about law firms, you'll get that too. But the typical hacker or bad actor who's attacking a law firm may sit within a law firm's server system for up to 6 months. sucking all the information on every client that they can out of that firm before turning to ransomware, because they don't see that they've got any more value to obtain out of mining all of the data that law firm has got in their server.
All right, let's look at
Can I
that
add
specific. Go ahead. We're talking.
Add one
Yeah.
thing. So Scott's spot on. It's about 6 months is how long the typical hacker waits around. But then once the ransomware event happens, he's already sucked out so much information. It generally takes about 11 months to recover from that, unless you've done pre-planning like Judge John had thankfully had with the county.
All right. So, but he mentioned email, and I remember this in the I know a number of people in the law community. The county courts didn't have email for a while, and they had to kind of go around that situation. In that case, Scott, I mean, that's just as disabling as many other things. And I think the number one stat that Vince brings up, 95% of hacks come through email. But disabling that email thing, what does that do to the law system?
Well, it depends, right? It's terrible, obviously. It's hard to communicate outside of your firm. If you're on a system like Lexicon, though, because we offer cloud-based communication between the firm and the client, it doesn't shut that communication down. It makes it harder. It would make it hard for us to have a client schedule a court appearance or arrange for a hearing, but nothing would be impacted between the attorneys and the clients, right? So we offer a secure interface between the attorney and the client that sits outside of that email system.
Let's take another phone call, 219-845-1100. Hey, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Judd. Hey, guys. Real quick one. VPN, pros, cons, and limitations.
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you so much. Go ahead. Who wants
I
that
would
one?
say VPN, fantastic that you have it when you work remote, whether it's at home or anywhere. You need to have a VPN. The pro is that a VPN is absolutely going to essentially hide what you're doing from an attacker. The downside to a VPN, and there's not many downsides, but a downside is latency. So it may slow down your system a little bit as you're actually using it.
All right,
Yeah.
Vince, we got to back it up. We got a lot of bait. I mean, let's just be straight. I would say most of the attorneys I don't know are not digital persons, and I would say probably half of them don't even really know what a VPN is. So go back to the basics. What is it?
Oh, sure. So what a VPN stands for, virtual private network. And essentially, when you are working from your computer, you have what's called an IP address. And that address is what a hacker could use to essentially get into your system. When you're using a virtual private network or VPN, you're using essentially a hidden IP address. So not even the hacker can see what you're doing.
Talking to Vince Mazza, CEO of Guard Street. You've seen Vince before. Also, you've seen Scott Brennan with Lexicon. They provide the backbone for many law firms. Scott,
could I jump on one more
ahead.
VPN pro and con just to chase it down? So the VPN will help protect that email that you're sending. However, if your email gets hacked, if you're using a VPN, generally you're probably also working either locally on your desktop or through a single server in the office. Once somebody breaches that email address and gets your passwords, they're in your network at that point. And so the VPN absolutely helps to protect that individual email. It doesn't help protect anything else. If you use a cloud-based system like ours or one of our competitors, you create a separate password-protected environment where all of your client information and data would reside. So even if your email does get breached, you've got an additional, very secure layer between yourself and all of your clients' data. And I always talk about you never want to wake up and read that your firm is on the front page of the local paper for being hacked and breached.
All right, we're talking to Scott Brennan. Let's talk specifically about cloud-based, and I'll just give you the example here. We built the video system. What we're doing right now is entirely cloud-based, and I don't have any computers here. Just go straight, and we do it somewhere else. A radio station's a lot slower. I'm taking it into the cloud, but there's not as much software available, and finally I'm getting there, and I hope to get there early 2021. I trust the cloud. I think that's where my stuff should be. I've got
Yep.
local backup for a lot of the stuff, but I trust it, okay? I got to be honest with you. There's a lot of guys in these older law firms around here in Lake and Porter County and across the state line. They don't trust the cloud. What do you say to them?
Yeah, I say the cloud is far more secure and protected than anything that they have in their closet, right? Because generally people who are telling me that their server room is a closet with a hole cut in the back for a portable room air conditioner, that you have to keep up on maintenance. You have to continually update the software. You have to stay current on all of the security patches. If you're not doing that, there is no way that the cloud is less secure for you. With our cloud environment is entirely hashed and salted, which means every transmission is completely scrambled and unscrambled at both ends of the chain. There's no opportunity for that message to be intercepted and used in any way whatsoever by a third party.
Let's go a little bit into the weeds there, scrambled and unscrambled, because that just confused a dozen attorneys around here. You scramble it, you send it, and then it's unscrambled. What the hell does that mean?
Think about any of the code breaker movies you've ever watched about World War II, and how either the Allies or the Axis powers were taking their messages, encrypting them with a machine that the other side couldn't break, and then unencrypting them out on the ship or on the submarine. It's like that, except literally exponentially stronger.
219-845-1100. You're on with Scott Brennan, Vince Mazza. Go ahead.
Good morning. It seems your company is focused on the arena of law. Do you have any plans to leave the cloud, which has been proven to not be totally secure no matter the encryption rate, for implementing blockchain technologies like Ethereum or other smart contracts tech that's basically changing the landscape of law internationally?
All right, man.
So
Stay on the line. Stay on the line.
Yep. We integrate with those technologies. We don't have plans to abandon them, to abandon the cloud. I still think the cloud is by far the most secure environment for most firms to operate in. We integrate with other software platforms. So if you choose to do that, we'd be able to support it, but we don't plan on abandoning the cloud anytime soon.
Gotcha. So how do you guys plan on implementing things like Ethereum or whatever? I mean, is it changing the landscape, or you're getting questions or anything from the law firms you're working with?
All right,
Not
good
a
job.
lot.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so
no, we're not getting a lot of push from companies for Ethereum or any of the other technologies where people are trying to go back to on desktop kind of protocols.
And we're talking to Scott Brennan and Vince Mazza. We're talking about all this stuff like encryption, and we're talking about protecting your law firm or protecting your court system, for that matter. Sounds like a ton of money. Vince, is it?
It's not. You know what's costs a ton of money? Getting hacked. The hacks, the costs have grown 33% this year, just from the standard average ransomware cost. No, for a firm, Guard Street will develop a custom program for the law firm and do something that's economical. But you do not have to spend a lot to protect your business.
I can tell you, so to get Lexicon, our base package is going to be $63 per user per month. And that comes with a document management system in the cloud, all of the cloud-based security. It comes with an Outlook plugin so that your email is integrated into the document management system. And it comes with all of the billing and timekeeping modules. That's incredibly cost effective when you think about just the cost of upgrading your server farm.
Takeaways today, guys. Vince, you first.
Yeah, I would say there's three of them. From a cybersecurity perspective, keep your costs down by planning out and setting up your organization so it's protected. Secondly, you've got to select the right partners who appreciate cybersecurity, like Lexicon. And third, whether you're a law firm or any company, any organization, cybersecurity is not a set it and forget it. You've got to be active with it. You've got to follow it.
Scott Brennan.
Yeah, if you're a lawyer and you're still trying to use Excel to track your billing, you're missing a massive opportunity. We see 15 to 20% increase in revenues when customers migrate to a platform, and I'll say like ours. It doesn't even have to be Lexicon. You're missing revenue if you're trying to manage everything manually. The other thing is your server or your laptop is not as secure as you believe it is. You are far better off using a dual encrypted cloud-based package like Lexicon, where all of your documents are secure in the cloud. You send things through an encrypted portal directly to your clients, sidestepping email entirely. Lots of opportunity to help improve your practice without diverting yourself from trying to learn how to be a developer or a security expert.
All right, somebody just tuning in, driving around. Final warning about email there, Scott.
Yep, it is the leakiest sieve imaginable. Customers' data is not secure. If you're sending documents through email, you are doing yourself and your customers a disservice.
That said it right there. Lexicon and Guard Street, in general, talking about cybersecurity. Sometimes we take it more generally with Vince, and then sometimes we narrow it down into a specific area of cybersecurity. If you want to see this again, you can see it on Facebook or at WJOBnetwork.com or on Amazon, Apple, Roku on the WJOB Network app. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
All right, guys, we'll see them, and I'm going to end this, and we're going to go on to the next part of the Community Programming Initiative, and don't go anywhere on the voice and face of the region.